Cartel gangs had to rethink numerous ways to transport coke into the United States as the US, Mexico, and Colombia increased their coke war in the late 1990s and early 2000s. With billions of dollars in annual income on the line, no notion for getting medicines into the hands of American consumers was considered too far-fetched. Chapo Guzman, the Sinaloa cartel leader, was a pioneer in the use of cross-border coke catapults. The Narcos Submarine, a handmade sub capable of transporting thousands of pounds of merchandise to the United States at once, is the pinnacle of high-risk, high-reward smuggling. So, in today's video, I'll show you how these narco-submarines are constructed. I'm sure you're curious about how can these coke cartels build such a thing. Stay tuned till the end of this video. Let's dive right in. Mexican and South American coke gangs and their broader networks rely totally on their ability to deliver their goods into the United States. And if there's one thing these businesses are good at, it's altering their business models to remain ahead of the competition. Narco submarines first appeared on the scene looking like something out of a science fiction film. A Coast Guard cutter observed an unusual blur in the ocean 100 miles off the coast of Costa Rica in November 2006. As the cutter neared, 3 snorkels appeared to protrude from the sea, then hooked to the air pipes. Something even more shocking was discovered: a handmade submarine holding 4 guys, an AK-47, and 3 tons of cocaine. This type of watercraft, a self-propelled semi-submersible built by hand in the Colombian woods, is no longer as mythological as it once was. 4 were intercepted in early last year alone. However, due to their capacity to avoid radar systems, these submarines are nearly impossible to detect. Only about 14% of them are intercepted. According to a task force spokeswoman, up to 70 of them could be produced this year, up from 45 or so in 2007. They are now expected to transport approximately 30% of Colombia's total cocaine exports, having been built for as low as $500,000 per year and erected in less than 90 days. So, how are they built? Building a fully submerged submarine is difficult and inconvenient, requiring highly experienced people and a large production facility that's difficult to conceal. Semi-submersibles, which are significantly smaller than submarines but can carry 5 times as much cocaine as a typical fishing vessel, are an option. The origins of semibus may be tracked back to 2 unknown persons, a Pakistani and a Sri Lankan, who offered schematics to Colombians in early 2006 for manufacturing semibus quickly, discreetly, and out of inexpensive, readily available materials. One of the most common concerns when creating a coke sub is that a laborer may betray their location before the task is completed. As a result, the 15 or 20 workers who are brought in to make a craft stay on the site for the project's life. They make the ships by hand and set up camp in the deep jungle, relying on generators for power. How are these guys building this in such an unfavorable condition? That's not easy at all. Have you ever tried to build something in your backyard? Then you will know that building in a jungle will be highly inconvenient. Submarines, which cost between $500,000 and $1 million apiece to build, may transport enough cocaine on a single voyage to net the traffickers more than $100 million in illegal profits. According to a Colombian Navy commander, the logistics capacity required of these criminals to transport all the materials into the heart of the forest, including heavy equipment such as propulsion gear and generators, is very astounding. They are often put together in sections and then reassembled in camps, equipped with sleeping quarters for employees under the jungle canopy. The narco submarines can cost up to $2 million. The excursions are profitable for smugglers. A 9-ton consignment earns over $200 million wholesale from US buyers. Professional fishers are frequently at the helm, earning around $3,000 after completing the trip, which can take 12 months to complete. Some of the ships are designed for one-time usage. Despite the high expenses, they will be abandoned at sea following a successful delivery, despite their cargoes being worth up to $400 million on open market. Officials discovered zinc bars used as sacrificial anodes on other detained ships, minimizing corrosion on metal parts exposed to seawater. Because corrosion would not be an issue on a single journey, but is a factor affecting long-term durability, this is a clear sign that several trips were planned. Over time, their construction's design and manufacturing techniques have improved. The boats have gotten quicker, more seaworthy, and more capable than previous models. A narco submarine with a length of 18 meters or 59 feet can travel at speeds of 18 kilometers per hour or 9.7 knots and load up to 10 tons of cocaine. They're usually composed of fiberglass, have a 225 to 260 kilowatt diesel engine, and a 4-person crew. They can carry 2 to 10 tons of cocaine in their cargo hold, have massive fuel tanks with a range of 3,200 kilometers or 1,700 nautical miles, and are integrated with satellite navigation systems and long-range HF-SSB communication system capabilities. There's also no restroom, and the sleeping quarters are small. The vessel is nearly impossible to detect through sonar or radar. It's very difficult to notice visually because much of its structure is fiberglass and it glides just beneath the surface. The exhaust from recent models is piped along the hull's bottom to cool it before venting it, making the boat even less vulnerable to infrared detection. They're easiest to identify from the air, though even that's tough because they're painted blue and don't leave much of a wake. They have ballast tanks to change the vessel's buoyancy so that it can ride low in the water. Low-profile vessels, submersibles, semi-submersibles, and towed narco-torpedoes are the 4 basic categories of vessels that fall under the narco-submarine term. Since their introduction over 20 years ago, these vessels have exhibited a significant quality improvement. The first narco-submarine discovered in 1993 was made of wood and fiberglass and could barely travel at 10 miles per hour. However, according to the FMSO, modern submarines can hide their heat signature, dodge sonar and radar, and utilize lead sheathing to hide their infrared signal, making detection and capture extremely difficult. One of the most frequent coke submarine types is low-profile vessels, or LPVs. These boats float slightly above the water's surface. Even if they aren't completely submerged, they are difficult to notice. Infrared detection is especially challenging due to its fiberglass and leadership structure. Because they're virtually below the water's surface, radar and sonar have a hard time detecting them. Larger LPVs can transport up to 10 tons of cokes at once. LPVs have been detected in the majority of narco submarines, maybe because cartels find them easier to build and run than fully submerged vehicles. LPVs and semi-submersible narco submarines are comparable. These vessels can submerge below the waterline, except for a snorkel-like tube to keep the crew from suffocating. Due to the high cost and technical limitations of creating a working model, fully submersible narco submarines are a rarity. However, a few submersibles have been discovered over the years, and they are spectacular. According to Colombian authorities, the largest was a 100-foot-long GPS-equipped ship that could dive to 30 feet and transport up to 200 tons of cocaine at a time. The least technologically advanced submersible is a narco-torpedo. These empty canisters are intended to be trailed behind a ship that has been camouflaged. If the tow ship is detected, it can drop the torpedo, which will trigger a homing signal for later retrieval. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and share the video. You can leave your questions and thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when we add new videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.